Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further, because you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all the various requests you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, zongs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here. We'll set ourselves back to our defaults, but otherwise, we should be good to go. So let me know if there's anybody who would like to jump on in here today to get us started. We, of course, as is often the case, well, once per year, we find ourselves in this situation where, because we host these RITE Nights on Sundays, and daylight savings always happens on a Saturday night / Sunday morning, there may be some people who are still adjusting and may not realize that we are doing the RITE Night stuffs right here, right now. Or, I always forget, like, there are some places, of course, that just don't do daylight savings at all, and there are some places that might do it, but might not be at exactly the same time, so, I don't know. Daylight savings, it's a thing. It might affect us a little bit, at least initially here, before we start seeing, hopefully, our regular cast and crew making their way in. But as I said, let me know if anyone is interested in getting us started today. In the meantime, I will jump into Discord. There we go. Okay, nice. So yeah, I think I was out last week, right? So at least for me, it's been a couple of weeks since I was last here. In Europe, don't do the change until 2 more weeks. And is that the case across all of Europe? Or are there some countries that are on a slightly different timetable? Like in the US, it's weird, because we have, I think it's 2 states that don't observe daylight savings time, but every other state does. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, well, in most cases, this is the way things go, but every once in a while, you run into some of those outliers, and it just gets a little messy, a little confusing, but again, such is the way of daylight savings time. Alas, we're here now. That's what matters. So let me know if anyone would like to jump in here. And thanks for jumping in as well. In love with the streamer, which is an interesting name, I might note. Not gonna lie, might have questioned at first as to whether you were a bot, at least just based on the name of your Twitch account, but obviously your response makes perfect sense. So perhaps not. I don't think a bot would be able to give an insightful explanation as to the daylight savings practices in the whole continent of Europe. This is true, though. This is true, though. Yeah, then you have maybe some, yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things that you always hear people grumbling about, right? Or at least people grumble about for a week, saying, oh, why do we do this thing? It's silly. It's just annoying. We shouldn't do it at all. And then people get used to it, and we forget about it for the other 51 weeks of the year, and that's probably why no one ever actually changes it. Oh gosh. Core, go away. None of that nonsense. No AI art to be traded here. Statistically significant increase in car accident. Really? Interesting. Just because people are sleep deprived? Is that the idea? Or at least the theory behind why that might be the case? Statistically significant. Wow. Huh. I mean, it's just 1 hour. 1 day with 1 hour. Huh. But I guess, you know, it messes with your schedule. So, you know, if you're waking up early to drive to work, you're half asleep as you're driving to work. Yeah, okay. I guess I can see how that might be a thing. But anyways, enough talk of universal, I guess not universal, but timekeeping practices. More talk about the rites. We have a bunch of people in chat here, so is anyone interested in getting in, or is everyone still adjusting, so they need an extra hour before they're ready to go? Okay, Core says he's good. Let me get an invite out for Core then. Let's see, Core, invite sent. What's up? Okay, well that's cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. Well, as you may know, of course, at this point, it's been a while since we last gwented. But thanks for stopping by the Twitch sphere as well. Yeah. Excuse me, sir, this is a RITE Night. This is a Wendy's. Alright, so we should have one person in here ready to go with Core, but we're still looking for another to jump on in, so let me know if anyone else would like to get us started today. And of course, we could also start setting up specific criteria for our first match, but I feel like generally may make sense for us to at least establish who the two participants will be before doing that. But I mean, if that's what you want to do, then that works too. Oh, also, I have my controller plugged in. And by that I mean I totally do not have my controller plugged in. And I definitely did not just unplug my controller 10 seconds ago. I would never do such a thing. I don't know, Core. You might be the only person who is properly adjusted to the new daylight savings time. Other people happy to talk about it, but not as keen on participating in the rites, apparently. I mean, as always, I can jump in if we don't have anyone who is currently interested and available. But of course, general preference is to get people in from chat, so if anyone else does want to get in, you are welcome to hop in now, or if I hop in for a match or two, you are welcome to take my place whenever you are ready to go, in which case perhaps I will replug the controller that I just unplugged, just to mess with Steam Remote Play and tempt fate. Alright. Replugged. Now, granted, as I was just saying, I was not even hosting a RITE Night, let alone playing in a RITE Night last time. Okay, yeah. Why don't we get a Nor in then? Because, yeah. It has been, I couldn't tell you how long since I last actually played. And also, as I was saying, I'd like to get people in from chat if we can, so let's get a Nor. Let's get a Nor. But oh yes, I suppose I kind of flippantly responded to the whole, well, I've only seen you do Gwent stuff and Mass Effect a little bit. But yes, this is RITE Night, which means we're doing some Pyre, which is a fantasy sports-esque game, and fantasy as in magic, not as in theoretical compositions of players who do not usually play together. Alright, now that we have a Nor in, I believe, let's double check who is player 1, who is player 2. Nor is player 3. Well, I mean that too. Does that mean you can't control anything in or is player 3 actually player 1? Well, obviously, player 3 is actually player 1. That just goes without saying. 2 plus 2 equals 5, and 3 equals 1. It's basic stuff. Okay, let me put in your information then. Okay, Nor, and this is Core. Anor's going Chastity today, it looks like, and it will be Pyre Hearts for Core. Alright, there we go. Don't see any requests for this first one. Oh, let's turn the talismans back on. So I think we're just letting you guys take whatever you want. Let's get started. Oh.
Stand forth, exiles.
Well, that's one way to start things off.
You stand upon the fall of Solium. Here you may yet prove your worth. May further shame befall whomever fails. The Chastity, stand prepared. Pyre Hearts, stand prepared. Now we shall.
All right. Well, apparently this is our liberation rite. We got the sermon intro. We got the fall of Solium. So it was nice doing some Pyre with you all today. But seems this is going to be our last match of the day. No, no requests from chat. So you are welcome to take whatever you'd like here. We'll start with a ring on Pamitha for the small stat boost and infinite stamina to start off a round. Whereas in Core's case, it is a speedy Tizo. Why can't we ever get a sermon from me? Oh. I don't know if anyone has ever asked for that before. I don't know, do we need a... We could maybe do a different lid coin reward for that. That's probably doable.
Sir Gilman.
Exploding Gilman. And I was distracted by Core's request of sorts there, but it looked like Anor took Tizo in the second spot. There is the second ring. Lore implications abound. I guess, I don't know. Is lore the right way to phrase it? I don't know. Jodariel and Pamitha, not known to be the best of friends, is what I'm getting at. But maybe that was all just a ruse. Vanishing throws on Rookie is how Core will wrap things up here. So here we go with our first match of the day. Core and Anor getting us started. It's Core with Gilman. Gilman blocked. Anor with Jody, but Jody's blocked. Banishes one of the defenders. Gets the orb back here, but gets banished. Through the portal. Throw well blocked before he can get it on target. Nor eyeing her portal. But where is it? Is it directly on top of the portal entry? Or an infinite portal? Almost looked like it for a second there. Core, whoa! I did not realize his portal was directly on top of Anor's Pyre, but goes through it and Did he have... Yes, he did have the Siege Chance active. For a second, I thought it might have expired right as he made it in, but does get the bonus damage, so 25 on the Gilman plunge, and he is now gone for this round. As somehow, some way, Rookie does not get banished there. So he does plunge.
Now burns relatively brighter.
Kor back with his Tizo, and although he didn't score, he does set up a not quite as dangerous portal as what we saw a couple rounds ago, but still quite close to Nor's Pyre. But here is Nor using that extra speed from the infinite stamina. Was that still infinite stamina? Or maybe that was from... Does Nor have super portals? She had an awful lot of stamina on Pamitha there. Rookie has the banishing throws and is at least threatening with them. And now it's Tizo against Gilman, although everyone now back on Kor's side, so Tizo against the world. Jody eventually returns. She's banished. Tizo back against none other than the opposing Tizo. And Kor does make it in, and that is an offensive imp setup, so that is 25 damage there.
Seem to be falling behind.
Nor opts to set the portal instead of going to get the orb, so Kor retrieves it and somehow threads the needle there. Gets it in for 14 damage, slightly less than his maximum on that. Tizo. Oh, almost had enough stamina to make it in there, but instead falls just short, and the portal is just short of Nor's Pyre as well. Okay, yes, it is a super portal. That's where Nor is getting the extra sources of infinite stamina from. So even if her portal does not take her far, it does still serve a purpose. So orb unclaimed. Kor gets it. Blocked, and Tizo's banishment moves the portal a little bit further away, but Kor leaves his Pyre unattended, and Nor able to plunge in with Pamitha. Good for 20.
The orb is up.
Tizo for Kor. Banished by Nor's Tizo, but once again, a foreboding portal. Tizo against Tizo. Nor's Tizo wins out, but she gets banished as well. Kor blocks the portal, but Nor able to jump her way through it. Gets that infinite stamina she's looking for, but does get blocked. Kor close to the Pyre, but banished before he can do anything with that. Now with just Tizo, probably not the exile Nor's looking to attack with, although the portal does at least help her bide some time. And for a second there seemed to be a bit of an opening near Kor's Pyre. And loses possession with Jodariel just before making it in, but Nor's Pyre was relatively sparsely populated, and so opportunity for Kor to throw that one in. Kor nearly able to zigzag his way around the defense. Pamitha. Blocked. Switches into Tizo, but Kor now on the attack with his Tizo. Pamitha for Nor. Through the portal. Oh, it's fairly close to Kor's Pyre. But not close enough as Kor defends and launches the counterattack, though Nor still in position defensively. Very dangerous portal for Nor now, but Kor's in possession. He goes through his portal. Rookie with that banishing throw. Clears out just enough space to set up that plunge. And it is possible for Kor to get enough damage here, because remember, this is an offensive Tizo, has the extra damage on that Tizo. Sees Chance, I believe he also has that on Gilman, so at least if he has banished someone recently with Gilman, it is also possible to get enough damage from that. But instead, opts to whittle away with the 13 damage Worm Throw. Now certainly any of his exiles, regardless of circumstance, could have enough damage, barring a very quick throw. Oh, and nearly snuck under the defender there. Now very dangerous portal for Kor as well. So Nor needs to be careful. She's in possession here. Uses her portal to get that infinite stamina. Very quick. Oh, but Gilman, who was just standing there, well, apparently that's all he needed to do, because he took out Pamitha in the process, and here is Tizo trying to finish the job for Core, but not quite able to do that. Pamitha. Just Pamitha. Does Nor stall here, or does she try to go on the attack? Switches into Jody, next to the Pyre. Blocked, banishes one of the defenders, oh, but then gets banished by the second. Tizo for Core. Now back to Ruki. Ruki, hip hopping around, the throw banishes! And that clears out enough room for the winning plunge. GG.
Their adversaries without too much trouble.
Well played, you two.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Very nice. Okay, so let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And as always, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like us to do for the next one. Okay. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time, of course. Until somebody turned Customize off. So that means Randomize, Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans. Won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. That covers most things. Could still do an arena. Could still do a song. But other than that, just about everything else has been accounted for here. So perhaps this is all we're looking for? So let's jump in.
The chastity.
Okay, Swinger Jomir. Ashen Cole, we know that definitively at least. It's an imp, a nomad, and a demon for Nor. Core is not moving. Everything good, Core? Because it doesn't look like it. Hold on. Let me check. Is Core still in Discord? He is. You good, Core? Question mark? Huh? Well, that's strange. Well, for Core, for what it's worth, it's an imp, a cur, and a sap. Did not see if we caught a glimpse of any talismans that made immediate appearances.
I'm back.
Okay. No worries, I don't think you missed anything. I think Anor just banished one of your exiles who came back, and otherwise everyone is still in their starting position, so I think we are basically good to go here. If you'd like, I can give you guys a countdown if that makes it any better. Alright, so I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. So we have at least some certainty on Anor's side as to what one of her talismans is. That seems like an awfully large implosion on Core's messenger imp. Granted, I forget who. Oh, Luminous Idol on Snadra. Okay, so now we know of 2 of Anor's talismans. I think it was the extra starting power life came on her imp. Oh, extra damage though on Core's Cur from Astral Eye. Means extra damage at the cost of reduced hope. Also, Shooting Star banishing throws on Core's messenger imp. So actually, a lot of talismans making themselves known early here. Anor, we see, has the Sacred Bond, able to step on her teammates' portraits to bring them back. Both people have at least basic portals. Haven't caught as to whether either one has a super portal. Though perhaps for Anor with a Luminocidal Snadra, that's less important. Oh, and Kor's portal, speaking of them, very close to Anor's Pyre. Facilitates a quick plunge here.
Not let this go to your heads, Pyre hearts.
Snadra, ooh, into the sapling she goes. Delver. He's at least 2 jumps. Astral Eye, once again, giving him the extra 8 damage. Manly. Inching closer. Oh, but Snadra casts at the sapling and bounces back to take her out, and that means there is now an angle for Manly's throw. Good for 22, not quite the maximum. Well shielded, okay, so we know Kor has the team shield on his saps, and that's what, right side? If I remember correctly, which I might not be, in which case that would mean, assuming that I'm correct, the rekindling side of the tree, so Kor has at least 10, possibly as much as 50. And with as many talismans that have announced themselves as early as we have seen, seems unlikely we'd have a RITE Light at this point. Usually, since that only announces itself at the end, that's sort of one of the ones you're more suspicious of when no talismans, or at least very few talismans, have made themselves apparent early on. Oh, and Jodariel picks the wrong time to go through that portal, and Snadra down as well. Time for Kor, and gets the extra damage regardless of whether he plunges or throws, so able to throw it in there, still get the 23. It means that now Anor is sitting on 24 Pyre life. And Anor plunges for 15 with her imp. As we were saying, I think that is the one that gave her the extra 30 starting Pyre life, so not as if she's going to have an unexpected prayer beads there. Snadra brought back. Now Snadra by herself. Oh, and no portal to go through there. Looked for a second like Anor was going to rely on that, and an opportunity for Kor here to finish the job. GG.
It was as though the scribes themselves stood by their side.
Well played, you two.
The ceremony is complete.
Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, we will go back to our defaults, namely, we'll turn Customize back on, although, of course, if there is anything you'd like to do, like, for example, turn Customize back off, you are welcome to do that. Not seeing anything here, though. So, unless anyone has any last-minute thoughts, perhaps we'll get back into the action. So let's do it.
The chastity.
I thought I heard a boat.
Pyre hearts.
That I did.
Welcome.
Okay.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Of course, that raises the question, to what extent will players embrace the boat magic? Or will they, by and large, just ignore it? Well, in Anor's case, she is certainly embracing it, with a speedy Jodariel. Whereas Kor is, once again, leading off with a fairly offensive imp setup, a speedy Tizo. Thanks for stopping by in love with the streamer. Have a good night. Nor was thinking about taking a ring, but instead opts for the prayer beads on Pamitha.
Messenger imp.
Legendary Imp Talisman for Messenger Imp. So that's 2 imps for Core, and both of which have more mobility-oriented setups. It's a little out of the ordinary, a little more offensive imp stuff for both of those imps, really.
Ignarius.
Leech on Ignarius for Anor. She's now all set. And after seeing 2 imps, it does make you wonder if Core's about to lock in a 3rd. He'll go for an Exploding Raji, so yes, he will. Alright, so here we go.
Now begin.
Is Core first to the orb here with Tizo.
Banished in an instant.
He goes down, though. Couple of imp banishments. Now Anor, more space to work with, and that helps her plunge in for 30. Courtesy of Jodariel, she is now gone for this round, though. Tizo. Eludes one of the defenders. And eventually does find his way in there, and as we were saying, more offensive of a setup, so 25 rather than just 15 damage. As both players go flying around the arena, it's eventually Jodariel, although she does get banished. Raji. Gets the stamina back. Thinking about the throw. Anor seemingly in position to intercept, though.
Indeed.
Oh, and Anor, with time here, perhaps for even a Brazen Manor setup. 40 damage, and was that her leeching demon? I think it was. Oh, well, well, well. What better way to end a boat ride? Little bit of boat magic to seal the deal. GG. Well played, you two. Now let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, so let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, of course, we can just have the players take whatever they'd like. Which I suppose is what happened for the previous one, just that whenever you get a boat right, whether it was planned or not, it does take on a different feel. Not seeing anything else at the moment, though. So perhaps we'll just jump back in then.
The chastity shall confront the Pyre hearts. Welcome.
Alright, well, it is our first Glade match of the day. And I suppose, given how Nora is playing Chastity today, that means it is her home arena. Which is fitting, because I suppose the previous match on the boat was in Cora's home arena. And fittingly, Anor will start with a sap. It is a nutrition stick on Volfred. Whereas Cor goes for the legendary Worm Talisman, Aura's Scale, for the extra jumping distance. Now, Speedy Pamitha for Anor in the second spot. On Cora's side, it's Speedy Jodariel. And Anor with a second harp, it's Titan Tooth Tamitha.
Choose someone.
Cor chooses to go with the Leech on Bertrude. Or first the Orb. Oh, and was going for the quick dash straight into the Pyre with nutrition stick Volfred, although he does go down here. Now Tamitha by herself. Volfred does return, but not for long. Tamitha down, and that means, well, Tamitha makes a timely return, but not quickly enough to stop Cor from throwing this in for 14 with Bertrude. Tamitha blocked. That's back now, but now banished. Cor with Jody. Jody's banished. Tamitha blocked. Tamitha banished. Bertrude. She's taken out as well. Tamitha waiting to get some teammates back does, but she goes down. Jody, the core. Blocked. Still in this. Banishes one of the defenders, gets the orb back. Pushed a little bit away from the Pyre, but still able to throw it in for 18 to break what was a fairly long deadlock there. Means Nor back in possession with Hamitha. She's down. Gilman, some space, but not enough time. So it'll be a 20 damage plunge with Tamitha.
The orb is taken.
Now just Hamitha for Nor. Her sister permanently gone, and Volfred awaiting his return.
Yes.
He is back, he is next to the Pyre, but he's not quick enough to stop Jody from plunging for 30 here. Means Jody's gone for this round, but whoa, Nor plunges straight on in with that nutrition stick, Volfred. You could tell she was eyeing that strategy for a while there. Does eventually pull it off. 4. Gertrude, the throw is unblockable, but it is short and able to be intercepted. Hamitha, whoa, nearly able to do a little bit of a hop into the Pyre. And a quick little save there from Hamitha. And Harp pushes her way in. Good for a 20 damage plunge. Volfred. Now just Hamitha. She's blocked. Nor momentarily defenseless, although did take either Numbing Gust or the Typhoon Bottle. Slow core down. Gilman. Past both of the defenders, perhaps. Oh, but his throw is short. Oh, trying to get some of that stamina back so she can avoid Gertrude, but can't quite make it happen. So it is Gertrude now. Gertrude's throw. This one it does land. It lands for 15, and that means now it is possible for Core to finish this with one score, although Nor may very well have some rekindling with Volfred. So she may have taken the Numbing Gust, in which case that means she's mostly, if not entirely, left side, which is not the side with the rekindling. Tries to bide some time, but it is not enough to stop Jody from plunging in for the win. GG.
Overwhelmed their adversaries utterly.
Bit of the Harp explosion bug again.
The rite is complete.
I forget, is that one that we thought we had a solution to? Or is that one that has not been addressed in any way?
Until the stars align.
Right, I thought I remembered we had come up with a fix for it at some point. Alright, well, let me know if there's anything we'd like to do for the next one. Otherwise, of course, we can just have the players take whatever they want here. That also works. And Horseshoes and Exiles. Okay. And Talismans. Bot time. Gotcha. Okay, let's head on over to the Discord bot in that case. See what we end up with here. And for Nor, it's Manly with Neeland Leech. It's also Manly with Kerfang. Delbert with also Neeland Leech. What the heck? Hold on a second. There are 46 talismans. And how many characters? That's a very low probability of that happening. Getting double duplicates. Interesting. Very interesting. You see, yeah, just try again. I mean, you'll see the ones where they get the talismans that they aren't allowed to use, like Ignarius with Malith's tail, for example. That's one thing, and Manly with Gold's Bracer, for example. But, that's fixable. Okay, so that would be, what, Ignarius is getting the Frozen Soul in this case, and we also need to replace Manly's, which is Zoe. Oh, I'm curious what Anor thinks of this. It's the nutrition stick on Manly. It does work. He is eligible to use it. As for whether Anor is pleased with that, that's a different question. She'll roll with it. Okay. Did Kor roll his? Oh, he did at the beginning. Okay. Didn't even see those. You got the Stowaway with Astral Eye, Dalbert with Thorned Knot, and Jody with Fairy Spirits. Here's just what it's like to roll with the bot. Sometimes you'll get what Kor has here, and 3 exiles with 3 talismans that works. And then other times you'll get what happened to Anor. You'll get duplicate exiles, duplicate talismans, then you'll re-roll completely, and you'll get multiple talismans that are not ones that your exiles can use, and, you know. Huh. Alright, well, Kor's gonna put us on the Glade. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Glade it is. Though you suppose Manly having the stick isn't as cruel as putting Almer and Dalbert against each other. Did we end up getting Almer and Dalbert against each other here? Was that one of the ones... I think Anor had Almer initially and then re-rolled and now no... Or maybe... I don't know. Because Anor functionally has seen 2 teams here. So I don't remember.
She has Almer, yeah.
She does have Almer? Okay. And do you have Dalbert, Kor?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid it's a little bit of a fate civil war here.
The chastity shall take on the Pyre. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So of course we know the exiles and we know the talismans. The masteries are still up to them.
Alma.
So there, and I suppose, oh, yeah, Nor, do the exiles need to go in the order they appeared for the bot, or can they go in any order? They do need to go in the order they appeared? Okay. So that means we know the sequencing as well. I don't remember the sequencing, though, and as we previously established, I don't remember the exiles either, apparently. So it'll be Stowaway with Astral Eye first for Kor. It is interesting that with the bot, we got a Savage versus Savage lead. So, that does, of course, give us a bit of a mirror, at least with that first spot. Of course, the talisman's also very...
Ignarius.
There's Ignarius with the Frozen Soul. Here's Dalbert, okay. I suppose maybe it's not quite as bad as, having Almer and Dalbert facing off
Albert.
right against each other, either one, being the lead of their team. Each one their team captain, and that just further emphasizes the split between them. So they're not directly across. At least there's that. So how does Anor build Manly with the nutrition stick? Is it functionally the same as how she would approach things with Fulfred, or is it all different? Now, I think it pretty... you could make the case. Fairly cursed setup from Anor in this, from the standpoint of the bot was really messing with her. And then once we finally did get a team that she could use, it gave her nutrition stick on Manly, not Volfred. Oh!
Permission to not use Jodario.
Yeah, I think we can allow a different demon, since Jodario has the hangover effect. And Nora says that's fine. Alright, so here we go. With our bot randomized exiles, and that's what I was getting at with the lead Savage against lead Savage. Probably going to see a lot of those Savage salutes banishing each other at the very beginning of a round, but it is the Dalbert plunge to get us started. See if Ulmer has an answer.
Now to the flame.
In this, as I was saying, perhaps almost like a Fate Civil War. Ulmer banished, and Anor, thinking about plunging in with Manly, instead opted for the throw, but didn't have enough time to get it off. And here it is, Ulmer throwing it in, so there you have it. Ulmer and Dalbert.
The chastity are now favored to prevail.
Which one will emerge victorious? Banishes, well, everybody. Stowaway does come back, though, just in time to stop him. Ulmer's turn for Anor, but he's blocked by his father. Then banished by Iggy, and it's the Stowaway's turn to give it a go. She'll make it in with that Astral Eye. Does give her some extra damage, so it's 28 rather than the usual 20. Ulmer trying to speed his way in. First attempt, unsuccessful, but on the second attempt, he dunks on his dad. No prayer beads, of course, so it means no Ulmer for this round. On Anor's side. Meanwhile, Core trying to clear out a little more space here. Does just enough to set up Dalbert. It is back and forth. Ulmer and Dalbert. With perhaps the occasional Stowaway showing as well. As she plunges once again for 28. Courtesy of Astral Eye. Ulmer, a little bit shy of the target there. Oh, suddenly though, Core defenseless, and Anor with enough time to throw it in for the full 25 for Manly.
Into the adversary's flame.
Core. Dalbert. It's exploded. And now the Stowaway's turn. She goes down. Ulmer. I was gonna say, there was a moon drop in front of Core's Pyre that was just sitting there for a long time. Nobody had taken it. Core eventually did, but it doesn't stop Anor from plunging with Ulmer for another 20 damage. That perhaps means that now it's Dalbert's turn. But unsuccessful that time round, at least. Manly. Elusive. Ooh, tried to go straight in, but he goes down, and that means that Anor is defenseless, although Core is dilly-dallying a bit here. Might have missed an opportunity, as Anor does now have defenders back. And is even in possession, and moving in with Manly.
Why, that was rather bold.
Throws it for 18. Now it is possible for Anor to finish this with one score. Ulmer would not have enough damage, but anyone else could. If they are to either plunge or get enough time on their throw. That was Ulmer, though, with his attempt, and he stopped, and that means now suddenly Core with an uncontested opportunity to throw it in for 30, and that means that now Core could finish this with one score, unless Anor ended up taking Rekindling with Manly, which I don't remember if she did. Iggy versus Iggy. Dalbert intervenes and wins out, and perhaps we're about to test this theory as Core throws it in. And yes, we do have 10 rekindling. So Nor holding on here in what is potentially now a sudden death match. One score all that Core needs, and there it is.
The Pyre hearts prevail.
GG.
I thought for certain they would not.
Well played, you
Thus
two.
end this night's proceedings.
Alright. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. Otherwise, we'll reset ourselves to a random stage at the very least. Nor says up for just a couple more, then she'd like to swap out, so heads up, if there is anyone in chat who is interested in getting in on the action, we'd like to get you in the relatively near future in that case to take a Nor's spot. As for the setup for this next rite, though, is there anything we're looking for here, or are we just going to have the players take whatever they want? Core says Triesta. There we go. I was going to say, you can say it all you'd like. You got to put the lid coin on the line, though. There it is. Okay. Anything else in addition to the arena, or will that be it? Don't think we've seen a Nest of Trieste yet. Maybe that's the idea. I think there's at least one other arena that we have, at least a couple other arenas we haven't seen yet. But it looks like that'll be it for at least the setup on this match. So let's jump in.
The chastity shall now face the Pyre hearts. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Alright, so up to you to take whatever you want here. Or that'll be a bright wisp stowaway. Alright. Interesting. Speedy Jody for Core. Takes one of the rings on Pamitha, so she'll get a little bit of a stat boost and the temporary infinite stamina. Or we'll go for the legendary Crone Talisman on Udmilda to cast through the barriers. And second ring, going on Tamitha. So each of the Harp Sisters has a ring. And or with a few hot takes here today. And banishing throws on Rookie. Alright, Stowaway teleports the orb and goes straight into the defender, automatically passes the orb in the process. Or, with Jody. Jody in. Good for 30. Stowaway down, passes the orb, and almost enough to set up Tamitha there. She's back in possession. Blocked this time. But this time, she'll get the job done. Stowaway. This time does it herself. It means no stowaway for this round. Core blocked. Vanishes one defender though, and gets back in there with Jody for another 30 damage plunge from her. Stowaway down, passes the orb to Tamitha. Tamitha flying all over the place. But Core able to banish her nonetheless. Rookie. Banishes the defender with the throw from point blank range, and from that distance, able to walk it in. That means one score, potentially all that Core needs here. Tamitha, though, trying to get rid of the defenders, although does eventually go down here, but now that means plenty of space for the stowaway. Oh, stowaway, I suppose, had lost the orb by the time she was banished, so no pass on that occasion, so Core back in possession. Core on the attack. Banishing throw again from Rookie. 2 times over. Oh, but he does eventually go down. Looked threatening on that occasion, though. Tamitha. Blocked. Milda, her throw is unblockable, but it's short. Oh, and Denor had a harp near the Pyre, was ready to pass her the orb and set up a relatively quick score there. Now that means no Tamitha for this round. So only Tamitha back defensively at the moment. Core, plenty of options here. Goes the Rookie route. And takes the win. GG.
They do deserve their freedom after all.
Well played, you two.
The rite is done.
Alright, and I was gonna say, based on what Anor was telling us earlier, that seemed to suggest that this would be Anor's final match of the day, and well fitting, I suppose. She is going to wrap things up with a customized off match. And Flutterfly, okay. For the song as well. Do we have an arena we'd like to throw in there as well? And also, as we were saying before, you know, Anor said she's looking to swap out, and that does, of course, mean we'll be looking for someone else to take her place soon. So if there is anyone who is interested in getting in on the action, then heads up. We may be looking to call your name soon. Anything else we want to do to set up this one, or is Customize Off plus the song request for Flutterfly all we're looking for here? Looks like it might... Oh, hold on. It is not, because we haven't seen this in quite some time. But it is possible. It is possible to change the number of masteries, even with a Customize Off match. So, of course, fewer variables in this case, but the players will have 2 random masteries with this Customize Off setup. Anything else, or will that be it? Looks like that's all. So let's get it started.
The chastity shall take off.
Alright, so what do we end up with here? Ashen Coal on Anor's side. We know the extra starting Pyre life for her. It's a Harp, a Worm, and a Savage. For Core, it is also a Worm, but an Imp and a Sap are the other 2. As a reminder, the Exiles only have 2 masteries here, so they are weaker than usual. There are fewer variables than usual. I mean, we know definitively nobody has the final mastery on any side of their trees, as Anor gets it started with a 20 damage plunge from Tamitha. There's no super portals on Imps. 15 damage there. Okay. Interesting. Not... that is the all the way down on the left side, right? So I suppose we knew that wasn't going to be a possibility for that to be a 25 damage plunge. No numbing gust, no full rekindling as Core throws this one in for 15. But Core has infinite stamina, seemingly. It's looking like that might be coming from a talisman. So as I was just saying, you can't get the infinite stamina from the portals, not with only 2 masteries. As Core throws this one in for 15 from his worm once more. Was there something else that wasn't? No, I'm pretty sure that's a Hobe's Wing on Messenger Imp. Tamitha, blocked. Has Winged Fury. That's what, first mastery on the right side? As that infinite stamina imp. Now the one doing the scoring, plunging for 15.
Shall the Pyre hearts now further their advantage?
Shieldman hops around the defense, throws it in for 15. This time, Messenger Imp down. Is that a fell swoop as well? Looks like it might have been. That means... I guess you could call it full right side full. With the 2 masteries, at least. Core set up a portal directly on top of Anor's Pyre. And that means he can plunge straight in there with his sap, which was his highest damage exile, so made sense. But here's Anor, plunging for 15 with her worm. No prayer beads on Deluge. Stowaway. Banished. Core through the portal. Pushed away on the second attempt. Oh, momentum taking him away from the Pyre, though. So his throw was off target. Messenger Imp down. Does set up a fairly dangerous portal in the process, though. Tamitha. Hops around a bit. Unbanished, but Core back in possession here. Still way back defensively. Here is the stowaway now. Get some stamina back. Void's getting cornered. Oh, but does end up flying straight into that sapling aura. So down goes the stowaway. Core with the quick counter, although well timed on the Tamitha cast there for Anor. Core once again sets up the portal directly on top of, Anor's Pyre, and Anor was inches away from plunging, but instead, it's Core who plunges for 25, and that means Anor is sitting on just 5 Pyre life. I suppose it's still possible we could have an unexpected right light for rekindling. We know one of Anor's talismans, because she had the extra starting Pyre life. I don't know if we've confirmed anything else, though. So there is a chance. Core plunges in, no right light, so that will seal the deal. GG.
Such a well-conducted victory it was.
Well played, you two.
The rite is complete.
All right, now let's head on back.
Until the next.
You have Aura's Scale. Ooh, I didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't notice either. I'm not sure. No worries. Thanks for stopping by, Anor. Good to have you. GG's. Alright, that does mean we'd be looking for someone to jump in to take Anor's spot. Is there anyone who would like to do so? I don't think I've seen anyone yet who has expressed interest. But let me know. I mean, at this point, we're far enough in. You can no longer use daylight savings as an excuse. Also, let me switch these back on before I forget. No excuses at this point. Failer get in? Awesome. Alright, let's see. Alright, invite should be on its way, Failer.
What up, people?
How's it going, Failer? How are you?
Doing all right.
Nice. Alright, now if you could just confirm who is player 1, who's player 2, that'd be great.
I'm still player 2.
Despite the fact that it says you're on keyboard mouse. Eh?
I don't see that. I see a controller. I see you're on keyboard and mouse.
Huh?
Oh, are you saying in Pyre?
No! Yeah, that said keyboard mouse until just now. Weird. Okay, let me just... Oh, did I forget to reset the masteries as well? Good call. Let me set up Failer's stuffs real quick. There we are. Okay. Is there anything we'd like to see between Failer and Core here? It is Failer's first match of the day, so up to you as to whether you want to give Failer a chance to warm up or throw him straight into the deep end. Oh, Core talking some smack here. Alright, well, I won't hold them back then. We'll settle this in the arena. How utterly brazen.
The fate shall confront the Pyre hearts. Welcome.
Alright, so no requests from chat.
Who shall conduct?
You can
the
take whatever
rites?
you'd like here. For Failer, he'll go with the Ninja Almer. Core goes for Speedy Bertrude. Super Portals on Failer's Raji. Anor will go Luminous, or Anor, Core will go Luminous Idol on Pamitha.
Ignarius.
Titan Tooth Ignarius. And final one for Core will be Web Lanthorn T-Zone. Alright, so our first matchup between Core and Failer for the day. And it's Failer getting us started with a quick throw from Almer for 20. Almer
Flung with considerable
repeats that feat here. Third time's the charm, well, maybe in the case of Core, as he's able to intercept this go round. Failer back in possession though. Gives it to Almer, whose throw is intercepted this time. Big implosion right in front of Core's Pyre. It is Bertrude who emerges. Core trying to find an opening, but can't do so. So it's Failer back in possession. This time with Iggy. He's banished. Core just rushes straight in with Bertrude for a 30 damage plunge. But no prayer beads on her, so that means she is gone for this round. That leaves just Pamitha. She's stunned with the Titan Tooth. Almer. Ooh, just enough range.
The orb into the flame.
Pushing the limits there, but he does get it in for 20. That time much closer. Another 20 damage, and it means one more of those.
Once more
And
like
that would be all that
we are
Phaler
finished
needs.
here.
Here's Core. He stopped. Orb remains unclaimed, though. Phaler picks it up with Iggy. Iggy goes down, and momentarily Phaler defenseless. Does get Almer back, but that's not enough to stop a 21 damage Bertrude throw.
The orb is up.
Almer, this time intercepted. Core, through the portal. Gets the infinite stamina for Pamitha. And Harp pushes her way in. Pamitha does. Good for 20. So Core not going down without a fight here. Bertrude can't make it past the large Iggy aura. Almer, it's been dangerous, and there it is.
The fate
GG.
prevail.
GG.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
Well played, you two.
Worm bad.
It is done.
Alright, well, we'll head on back.
Until the next rite.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. I'm with you, Core. We've had our warm-up, so both players, they can handle anything at this point. Not seeing anything request-wise right now, though. So why don't we get the next one started up, then?
The fate versus the Pyre Hearts.
And that brings us to the Glade.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Phaler goes with a speedy saluting Bertrude. So he'll be able to transform all of Core's exiles into defenseless howlers once during this match. Core goes for a speedy Tizo. Didn't catch, did he use the salute here? Doesn't look like he did. Phaler goes super portals on Raji. What's up, Chunky Hamsters? How's it going? New Mass Effect roster? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like Talon Crest on Crone has become a standard talisman. It's always been somewhat popular. Phaler's not the biggest fan of it, but it has been performing. Well, we're doing some Pyre. It is not Mass Effect, as you have clearly identified. It's a different game. One that is a sports game of sorts. Players trying to get possession of the orb, and with it, either throw it or carry it in to the opposing fire or Pyre, hence the name of the game. In doing so, they deal damage to their opponent's Pyre, and when they deplete their opponent's Pyre down to 0 Pyre life, then they win. There are many ways to do that. Different exiles with different abilities and talismans to augment those abilities. Oh, heads up, you have the hangover effect on Bertrude. trying to expand your stomach capacity as you watch this game you've never heard of. By expand your stomach capacity, I suppose that means you are eating. Well, I hope you have some nice food to chow down on then. Doing well, doing well. Alright, so this will be a quick throwing Udmilda to wrap things up, and here we go.
Now begin.
Core. Cornered. And series of banishments. Bertrude emerges for Phaler. Portal doesn't take him far, but it does give him the infinite stamina, so he's quick, but he's not quick enough. Core through his portal. I feel like that might have just been to set up future portal plays, as it did move the portal a little bit closer to Phaler's Pyre in the process. Core back in possession. Portal, granted, now gets moved further back, and Phaler blocking the portal. Phaler wins it back close to Core's Pyre. Wins it back again. And oh, opts for the throw rather than the plunge. A little bit risky there, as Core was getting Defender over. So Phaler had to cut a little bit short, just 12 damage rather than the full 30, but in doing so, did keep Igarius for this round. And opportunity here for Bertrude. Her throw lands for 12. That is apparently the magic number for Phaler here. That time, though, Bertrude banished. Core. His Crone throw is short. Iggy for Phaler, banished. Raji, his throw. Oh! That had to be a Stubborn Flame, right? There's no way that was actually 1 damage. Titan Tooth stuns Core, helping Phaler to get another banishment to clear out a little bit of space, but not enough space to get a score off here. Phaler with a speedy Bertrude, not speedy enough to avoid banishment. Phaler back with the speedy Bertrude, once again not speedy enough though. Core eyeing his portal. Instead goes the direct route with Gilman. 15 damage and also 10 leech on that throw. Gilman again. Avoids 1 defender, but banished by the second. Oh, and that orb was right on top of Phaler's portal. I think he tried to pick it up, but couldn't do so, and so Core scoops it up and throws it in for 10. Once again, 10 more leech. Core this time with Tizo. And sets up a very dangerous portal. Phaler threw his portal, though, and nearly gets a score out of that. Core was practically an automatic score, but keyword there being practically, not actually, as it is Phaler who's the one scoring here. Plunges for 20, there's your confirmation, definitely Stubborn Flame. And Phaler uses his Crone's Loop, transforms all of Core's characters into defenseless Howlers, setting up what was functionally an automatic 20 damage score. But Phaler can only do that once, so he has expended that ability now. As we've seen, Core is capable of getting some leech, and Core is also reducing Phaler's damage, so 20 damage there. But Core is still holding on. Portal, Core goes, but that's not enough. Phaler, Crone throw, lands for 20, and at this point, even with Stubborn Flame, it is possible for Phaler to finish this with 1 score. So Core needs to be on alert. And gets 14 damage and gets, perhaps more importantly, 10 leech back. Now suddenly, it is not possible for Phaler to score, or to win this with 1 score. Not unless he has a source of extra damage that I'm not remembering. I don't think he took Brazen Manor.
Now go.
Phaler. Bertrude, vanished right in front of the Pyre.
Barely a mark against that flame.
8 damage on that score there.
Now to the flame.
Gilman. Banished here, and you have to imagine, as we've seen Core do on a few times here already, he may be trying to force feed Gilman a bit to get that leech. But does he, in the process, become predictable for Phaler to stop? Well, here is Phaler. Plunges for 20, but as we said, that leech was key because Core was able to hold on, courtesy of that extra Pyre life that he gained back, but now it is once again possible for Phaler to finish this with one score. And Core's defenseless here. Phaler had a window. He stunned the only defender. Stunned them again. But Core with the last second banishment just barely holding on. Gilman stopped. Double banishment though, and suddenly it's Core who's the only one who has an exile. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Oh, he wanted the Gilman score. He waited for it, and he actually got it. It seemed greedy at the time, but, you know, it seems like it paid off. 13 damage, slightly less than he would have gotten from a full damage imp throw, but got the 10 leech, which, as we were saying, crucially important at this point, because once again, means that he can take a hit from any of Phaler's exiles here. Orb unclaimed. Dangerous portal now for both players, and it's Phaler who capitalizes on his. Just 2 damage, courtesy of the damage reduction that Core has from Stubborn Flame. It means that he can still take a hit from any of Phaler's exiles. Is that 2 damage not particularly significant? Although Dangerous Portal for Phaler. Phaler with the block. Plunges for 20, and as we were saying, with Stubborn Flame, Core was able to take the hit, but at this point now, just about anything from Phaler would finish the job. Unless Core, can get more leech, and he nearly did there, but was not quite able to get the plunge from Gilman, and here comes Phaler. Back with the orb, stunned the defender, setting up the winning score.
Jeez.
GG's. Mouth open, trying to understand what's going on. You are watching two veterans, this is true. GG's, well played, you two. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, so let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see setup-wise for our next one here. Blinked and the game ended. Who won? It was Phaler who got the winning score there. Anything else we'd like to see for this one? If not, of course, we can always just have the players take their preferred teams, leave it up to them. That works too. Looks like that might be what we're going for here in that case. Let's jump back in.
The fate.
Alright, it'll be the Ridge of Gold.
Welcome.
So up to you guys to take whatever you'd like here. No requests from chat.
The rites.
You may take whatever you please. And for Phaler, that means a quick throwing, teleporting Almer. The Ninja Almer, so they call it. Exploding Gilman for Core. And Super Portal Raji for Phaler. Speedy Jodariel for Core. Taylor debating the fell swoop. Does go for it, along with the Titan Tooth stuns, so he will stun anyone that he flies into with Tamitha there. And also stuns on Pamitha for core. Jody for core, banished. Baylor trying to escape out from next to his Pyre, and Harp pushes his way in with Tamitha. So plunges for 20 there. Almer off to a quick start, but his throw is quickly intercepted. And Core with a quick counter throws it in for 9 from his worm. Tamitha. Blocked. And now Core, with his Harp, blocked, but stuns the defender, buying himself a little bit of time to throw it in for 12. And now it's Phaler, once again with the Harp score here, plunging for 20. Almer and Gilman take each other out. Almer taking a lot of people out here. But his throw is, well, it lands harmlessly on the ground. Core picks it up and able to throw this one in for 7. Tamitha for Phaler, trying to flutter around the defender. Tamitha for Core. Once again, it's all about the Harps here. Big fell swoop banishment. Then the Titan Tooth stun means that Core, momentarily unable to move, almost helped Phaler set up a throw there, but Core had just enough time to get back into position to intercept. Jody now for Core, unable to avoid the defender. Phaler through his portal gets infinite stamina in the process and no one back to stop this Harp throw. So an uncontested 20 damage there. Jody banished. Phaler wins the orb back close to Core's Pyre and plunges quickly for 20. Almer taken down, and Phaler, at least at the moment, is defenseless. Core has options here, but took a while to decide which one he wanted to choose. And that opportunity, well, I was gonna say it might have been gone, but now once again everyone is banished, so he does get his preferred score there, his highest damage exile, 30 damage from Jodariel. That being said, Jodariel now banished, as is almost the entirety of Core's team. Only defender is a banished Gilman, and so that means plenty of time and space for Phaler to plunge in there for once again a 20 damage Harp score. That means Phaler now with just Raji back defensively, and that's not enough to stop the winning Jody plunge.
That stun AoE looked weird. That looked longer than usual. That was really strange.
The rite is ended.
From the demon jump?
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm just a frame behind.
I didn't catch it. Well, either way, GG's, guys.
Until the next rite.
Alright, so let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Core says he can swap out if there's anyone else who wants to get in. He is available to stay, though, if there isn't anyone. So let us know, chat, if anyone else would like to get in on the action. Otherwise, looks like we can keep it with a Phaler Core matchup. Up to you all, and if it is continuing to be Phaler versus Core, then of course let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see between these two for the next match. Okay, and Nor is choosing Exiles. Triple Harp. Okay. We did see, despite each team only having one harp last time, it was very harp-centric, but now we're taking that and dialing it up to 11. So all harps. Anything else? Or will that be all? Looks like that might be it. Oh, hold on. But it's not. Okay, and to clarify here, we're talking about Skydance? Or are we talking about... Probably Skydance is what you mean, right? Not Talon Sheath? Skydance, okay, gotcha. Alright, let's get started then.
The fate shall now face.
I think this is our first Isle of Kalamer of the day, isn't it?
Welcome.
Might be.
Who shall conduct
Talon Sheath next? Okay, fair enough. Just remind me before our next one. So it is all harps. We know that much. But the masteries and the talismans, those are still up to the players. So there is some room for customization, some room for differentiation. That's true, we really haven't heard Talon Sheath in quite some time. Taylor's going for speed on Tamitha. Whereas Core goes Triesta's Plume for a little bit of extra damage and the chance of coming back if he is flying when he plunges with her. A pseudo prayer beads, if you will. Then stuns for Pamitha whenever she flies into someone. And Core says, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I think I'll do it too. Final choice for Phaler, he'll go with the extra starting Pyre life. Whereas Core will go with the Leech. Alright, so here we go in our Harp Showdown, and Phaler gets off to a quick start here, plunging for 20. But it means he's now without his speedy Tamitha the entirety of this round, although this round is short as it is now Core plunging quickly for 20. Now he's down one Harp. But he is unfazed as he follows up with another 20 damage plunge here. 4. Tried to make it 3 in a row, but unable to do so on this occasion. Phaler with that very fast Tamitha. Blocked, and now banished. 4. Under the defender and in for 20 damage as well as 10 leech.
The chastity's adversaries gained an edge.
Here is Phaler, plunging for another 20. That was the speedy Tamitha.
It's on neck and neck. Remember
Baylor follows up with another 20 damage plunge here.
the Fates seem to want their freedom more.
Core nearly eluded Phaler, but does get banished. Phaler now with just Zoxiana. Pushed away from the Pyre, bullied a little bit, but Tamitha has returned. Tamitha makes the defensive play. She has the speed to blow past one, make it two with the defenders.
Yes.
Harps collide. Now Tamitha for Phaler. She's banished, and that means Phaler, at least for the moment, is defenseless. Core just enough time for a slightly abbreviated 14 damage throw. Still the full 10 leech, though. When the Titan Tooth stuns Core, Phaler can't make the most of that opportunity, though. Core just enough to get a 6 damage throw off there as he's getting pushed away from the Pyre in the process. That is once again Phaler stunning with the Titan Tooth. And now Core returning the favor and setting up, the 25 damage plunge, courtesy of Triesta's Plume, and does get his exile back, so gets the Prayer Beads effect there. Phaler double banishment. Unable to do anything with that opportunity, though. Core back in possession momentarily. Phaler wins it back. Blocked. And stunned the defender. Tried to throw, but the throw intercepted. Phaler stuns the defender once again, though. Orb bounces out. And Core collects it. This time it's Core doing the stunning. And goes for the throw. Good for 11 damage. Now means Core is capable of finishing this with 1 score. Phaler still would need 2. Core has leech, but Phaler does not. Titan Tooth stun slows Phaler and sets up the winning score.
The Pyre hearts prevail.
GG.
Their fire burns whilst that of their adversaries is but ash.
Well played, you
Thus
two.
end this night's proceedings.
Was the third Fate Harp is the one that's sort of the darker purple? Is that which one it was?
Until the stars align.
I don't know. I wasn't as big a fan of that one, I don't think. To each their own, of course. Alright, well let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Harp bad, says Core. Well, we have at least another harp-themed song for this one. So we have Talon Sheath from Anor. But no other requests at the moment, so up to you as to whether this also becomes a full-fledged harp-themed match, or if it is just the song and no more than that. Well, it's going to be the Cairn. So it is not the harp arena, at the very least. Is there anything else we would like to do, or is song and arena all we're looking for? Seems like that's it here. So let's start back up.
The fate shall confront the Pyre hearts. Welcome.
Alright. So,
Who shall conduct the rites?
nothing that affects your team composition here, request-wise. That much is entirely up to you. And Phaler will go with a power casting Snadra in his first spot. Core will also go for a power casting Snadra.
Exile.
Web Lanthorn Raji, second option for Phaler. Whereas Core goes Exploding Gilman. Phaler will finish with a Titan Tooth on Ignarius for the stuns. And Core for the full rekindling on a Speedy Volfred in his final spot. Big power cast from Core's Snadra, banishing 2, but then goes down. Gilman for Core, Seize Chance active, so that's 25 damage there. The Snadras trade power casts, and both players find most of their team, or in the case of Phaler, the entirety of their team, banished, as there's just enough time for Core to get off a 16 damage throw from Speedy Volfred. Another big power cast from Snadra, and that sets up an uncontested 20 damage throw from her. Snadra versus Snadra once again. Only one exile on either side remains. Core trying to shield off the opposing Snadra, and does. Snadra for Core. The Hockey Puck is seemingly blocking him, but is still able to throw it in for 19 there. I don't think he was particularly pressed for time. Might have been able to get the full 20. Oh, Speedy Volfred with the well-timed shield. And the throw as well, good for 14. Big power cast. Takes out a couple. And now all 3 gone on Phaler's side. So Snadra throws it in this time for 17. Once again, probably did have time to go all the way for the 20 damage. Iggy, banished here. Snadra surrounded by hockey pucks. But Gilman is the one making the attack here. Throws in for 14. And 1 score, potentially. All that Core needs here. And there it is. GG.
The Pyre heart prevail. Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame.
Well played, you two.
The rite is ended.
Alright. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Mike Wazowski is fast. Wait, which one's Mike Wazowski? The Imps?
I think Gilman.
Gilman, though? I mean, Gilman's
One
definitely
eye.
the fastest. But I would think that the Imps would look more like Mike Wazowski.
That's not true. Gilman has 1 eye. That's what he's referring to.
True. I guess I'm going more off body shape. Because Mike Wazowski does not have a humongous tail. Yeah, that's true. If the Imps had 1 eye, then obviously that would be the closest thing. It's because of the eye, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I would have thought Imps. Alright, oh, I forgot. Let's reset the arena. And song, I almost pressed the commence button. But let us know if there's anything that we'd like to see for the next one. Oh, very nice. Okay, and Nora's turning customize off here. So that means randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans won't even get to see what those things are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. We could still do an arena, we could still do a song, but otherwise we are embracing the chaos here. Chunky Hamsters has the right idea, exactly. Exactly what we're going for. Optimized setups, horribly optimized setups, who knows? Who knows? There's no telling, not until we get started. So let's do just that.
The fate
At the fall of Solium as well.
on the
Okay,
pyre.
let's see. So it's a cur, a crone, and I think that's a savage for Phaler. It is a demon, a savage, and a nomad for core. Other details to be determined. We shall see if we can figure out anything about how these teams are set up mastery. Oh, mastery and talisman wise. Well, somebody has a cursed talisman, so they are unable to cast. I mean, it's only a matter of time until we saw one of those. I think we saw the, what is the web feet the one that slows down neighboring exiles for Core's stowaway? There is the cursed talisman on Phaler's stowaway. Oh, wait, is that Phaler who just had the Black Claw show up again, or is that Core also having the same talisman? Surely we don't have two Black Claws in one match. I don't know, maybe. Well, it's a 9 damage throw from Core. We are still very much trying to figure out what it is that both players have working in their favor here, but it is now Core plunging for 20.
Into the adversary's flame.
Phaler with Rookie. Dispossessed. Banishes 1. Of Core's exiles, though Core does have Sacred Bond. He can bring back his teammates by stepping on their portraits.
Thoroughly banished.
Although they're all gone at the moment. So time for Phaler to throw that one in for 15. Oh, you good, Phaler? I'm gonna pause that real quick, because that looked like Phaler might be having issues. Yeah, that was the sound of him disconnecting, I think. Let me just make sure. Is he still in Discord? He is still in Discord.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I couldn't even pause or anything, so yeah. Nothing.
Okay, no worries. Nothing happened. Let me just get you another invite. Okay. Invite should be on its way. All right. Looks good?
Looks good.
All right, nice. Okay, so I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, I'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Phaler with Udmilda. Oh, leaps straight in for 25. For someone smarter than me, you could learn something from that 25 damage there. That does actually tell us that all of Udmilda's masteries are on one side of the tree. I don't remember which, though. 20 damage, Savage Plunge for Phaler now. No prayer beads on the stowaway, so now she's gone for the entirety of this round. That leaves, at the moment at least, just Rookie back defensively. As Core starts moving his pieces toward Phaler's Pyre, though loses Jodariel. Stowaway brings her back. Here is Jodariel. Knocks back the defender. Righteous Flame on Jodariel, I think we just saw, so that means 30 damage on the plunge and also 10 leech for Core as well. Ooh, and Phaler nearly with a big prone plunge there. Oh, it missed the target. That's a whoa! Several leaping attempts at the Pyre, but none that quite hit the target, it seems. Core. Back to Headwind. Headwind blocked,
There goes the witch
but not banished. And it's the Stowaway, though, who finds her way in, plunging for 20 here, and Phaler holding on for 21. Core does have enough damage from Jody to finish this with one score, you would think, unless someone has an unexpected source of rekindling, a second life bar. It is possible with one of the talismans, but of course we don't know what talismans people have. Core. Hip hopping around. back Jody. Just the stowaway back defensively for Phaler. But that's all that Phaler needed. Gertrude, rather Udmilda. Time for a 25 damage throw. And that means that now it is possible for Phaler to finish with 1 score as well. He has the Crone Salute! Core's defenseless here.
And it is done.
GG.
The fate prevailed. They somehow managed to scrape by despite their adversaries' efforts.
GG's.
Well played, you two.
The rite is complete.
How confident were you, Phaler, that you had the Crone Salute?
I knew it.
Oh, well...
I didn't have any of either of the casting
right.
ones, and I didn't have
Until the stars
the,
align.
what do you call it, speed.
Yeah, and you knew that all of your masteries were on one side of the tree, as I was saying earlier. I didn't
Yeah,
remember
because when I
which
was
side it
behind-
was.
When I was behind, I was scoring for 25, so
Yeah.
I knew it.
Couldn't switch as a Howler at the end. I guess you didn't have the Imp Salute in Core's case. Also the Hex. Don't remember what the Hex is. Oh, couldn't switch like from one exile to the next. I see. Huh. That is strange. No worries, no worries. All right, well, we'll turn Customize back on. Unless, of course, that is something we'd like to reactivate for the next one. Up to you guys. Up to you guys. Let us know if there is anything we'd like to see. And if not, we'll just have the players take whatever they want. That works too. Yeah, he was only scoring for 25. It's like, I know this means something. I don't remember what it means, but it does mean something. Yeah, Hex of Victory, Hex of Defeat. Exactly, but that's the thing for me. I know that they are the first mastery on either side, but I don't remember which one is where. Victory
is active if you're victorious. Defeat is active if you're defeatious.
I just don't remember which side of the tree they are, though. I remember everything else, I think, which side it's on the Crone trees, except for that first mastery, which, for at least customized off matches, is useful to have in the back of your mind. Alright, but not seeing anything here, so I think we'll just jump back in.
The fate shall confront the
Alright, so we're back at the nest.
Welcome.
No requests from chat,
Who shall conduct the rites?
so all up to you here. Oh, and you can learn a little bit. I think somebody had a ring, because I just saw someone who had hangover effect on a bunch of stuff. Who was it? Udmilda had a ring. Interesting. Alright, well, Phaler goes back to the Ninja Armor setup. We have not had either a book or a pit. That is correct. Can't remember if there's anything else we haven't seen, but I know we haven't seen either of those.
Exile.
Webbed Lanthorn Raji? Was there a Snadra? Perhaps of the power casting variety? But that's purely a guess, because I didn't see how Core set it up.
Sir Gilman.
Self-destructing Gilman. And then, last choice for Phaler is Titan Tooth on Ignarius for the stuns on anyone that he jumps into. Core goes back to the speedy Volfred setup. Alright, it is Phaler trying to get things off to a quick start with Almer, although throw intercepted. Core with just Gilman. Gilman dispossessed, which means Almer can go back to what he does best, and that's throwing it in for 20 damage. Almer, this time intercepted again. Snadra, Core. Leaps over the defender and in, plunging for 20 and also leeching 10 Pyre life back. But Almer will take 20 of that Pyre life down. This time intercepted, although does get a couple of banishments. Snadra. This time she's banished. Almer, his throw intercepted. Snadra on the attack. She's shielded, but still taken out.
Now then, a second wind.
Almer, throw intercepted once more. Orb inadvertently hits Core's Pyre, bounces back out. He scoops it up with Snadra. Gilman back over to Snadra, and Snadra once again makes it in. 20 damage, 10 leech. For net 30 points of value, but Phaler once again taking 20 points away from Core's Pyre. Snadra. Shielded. And that sets her up. 20 more damage, 10 more leech, and at this point, that leech is certainly starting to add up. But Phaler still throws it in once more with Almer. But this time Almer stopped. Phaler now with Iggy. Into the aura he goes. Iggy banished. As both players wait for the orb to come back inbounds. Snadra. Can't elude the defender. Almer. Gets the angle for the throw. So that's another 20 damage. And now I don't recall how much rekindling, if any, Core put on Volfred, but if he doesn't have any, one Iggy score is theoretically enough. Full damage Iggy score at least, enough for Phaler. Snadra shielded, Snadra plunges. Once again, 20 damage and 10 leech, and now Core is out of range. At least for one score. So it would require 2 for Phaler. Yeah, they're momentarily defenseless, although as soon as I say that, the defenders come back. Ooh, the portal right next to Core's Pyre sets up an easy 20 damage throw for Almer, and now we are back again in 1 score range for Phaler. Throw intercepted. Oh, well shielded Snadra there. Banishes 2 of the defenders, sets up 20 damage plunge, 10 more leech, and once again, at least for all but Ignarius, it would require 2 scores for Phaler. But Ignarius is still threatening. Throw is short, but Core follows it in, gets the rebound, 20 damage plunge, and now it is possible for Core to finish this with 1 score. But everyone down on Core's side. Ooh, Phaler does still have enough time to throw it in for 20. In what is now a bit of a sudden death match here, unless, of course, Core did in fact give himself some rekindling to create a second life bar. Almer, he's sniped by the power casting Snadra, but he comes back. He's on the prowl. Snadra. Gets rid of all of Phaler's defenders. This is not going to be enough damage for Core, but it does whittle Phaler down to just 5 Pyre life, and at this point, just about anything would do the trick for Core. Of course, same could pretty much be said for Phaler if, in fact, Core does not have rekindling. We know Core is potentially capable of getting some some leeching here, but here is Speedy Volfred. Is he speedy enough? Sets up the throw to seal the deal.
The Pyre heart prevail.
GG.
A victory so narrowly achieved, and thus more glorious.
Well played, you two.
The ceremony is complete.
All right. Well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
So let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. As we were saying, we have yet to see any books or Pits of Malith thus far today. I think those are the only two arenas we've not yet seen. Is there anything else we've missed? I think we've gotten all the others at least once. There are a few that we've only had once. I think we've only had the boat once. Dread design. Oh, okay. We trying to predict it? We trying to call our shot here? If we request the song for the Pit of Malith, maybe that's enough to make it appear. Iroda can play a little bit. Alright. Well, I think we had said, was it Core who had volunteered to swap out? Yeah, why don't we get Iroda in for a little bit then? Thanks for stopping by, Core. Good to have you as always. GG's. Iroda saw the Dread design and the potential for the Pit of Malith, and as a member of the Withdrawn, he was called. Okay, let's see. Alright, Core has already left. In that case, let's get the invite out for... There you are. Iroda. Alright, and if you guys could just confirm, Phaler, are you still player 1? Iroda's player 2? Okay, looks good. Let me just set you up here, Iroda, real quick. That's not how you spell your name. And you are not the Pyre Hearts. You are Withdrawn. There we go. Okay. Did somebody intend to turn talismans off? Because we don't have a talisman's request. Is that an inadvertent click? Okay. Looks like all we have here is the song request. And it is, of course, Iroda's first match of the day, so maybe we jump in right here, and we will see if Anor has called her shot correctly and given ourselves a Pit of Malith here. I don't think so. Because I hear the imps. So it's definitely Isle of Kalamer.
Welcome.
Alright.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So no requests affecting your team composition, at least, this time round, so that much is up to you. Phaler will start off with a harp here. As Iroda goes prayer beads on Almer, so the plunging variety, presumably, rather than the throwing variety that we've seen a lot of today.
Exile.
Super Portal Raji for Phaler. Well, it's the throwing variety for the stowaway in this case, so double Savage for Iroda. Titan Tooth stuns on Ignarius. We've seen Phaler do a lot of that today. And now with 2 Savages, will Iroda be so bold as to take the most stylish man in the downside? His looks are so incredible, they are stunning. Also, he's kind of lime green. Phaler, though, gets us started with a 20 damage Harp Plunge here. But we'll be without Tamitha in this round. Stowaway banishes one, teleports to the orb, goes for the throw. It's quick, but not quick enough to make it past the defender. Raji, banished here. Almer, perhaps waiting for his friends to return. He's banished before he can do anything with it. That was incredible from none other than the most stylish man on the downside. Oh, he needed to finish that with a score, though. Right, but there is a 20 damage plunge. I believe that was the Stowaway who made it in that time. It was. She's now gone for this round, though. Iggy was just caught in awe by Gareth's amazing presence. As was Tamitha.
Now to the flame.
Here is Tamitha, and she'll make it in. Almer. He's banished before he can make it in. Gareth. Applied the pressure, but Phaler still able to make it in with a 30 damage Ignarius Plunge. That means one more of those is potentially all that Phaler needs, but he is Ignarius-less, though doesn't matter here, as instead Phaler opts for a Tamitha Plunge, and at this point just about any damage would do. Here is Iroder plunging for 20. I believe that was with Almer. Yes, it was, and he has Prayer Bead, so he is still in. Stowaway, her throw intercepted. Counterattack is quick and decisive.
The fate prevail.
GG.
Most excellently done this time, I must admit.
Well played, you two.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like for the next one. We attempted, sort of, to get the Pit of Malith in the previous go-round. We were unsuccessful. Our Dread design did not give us a Pit of Malith. It's that and its book are the two that we have yet to see. I don't know if we want to take more direct means to make that happen, or if we say, yeah, you know, whatever. Whatever arena we end up with. Then again, at least the pit is Iroder's home arena, so I suppose he does have that additional reason to vie for the pit to make an appearance. Not seeing any requests, though. So perhaps we'll just take our chances here. See what we end up with. Core!
The fate.
Alright, well, it's the Fall of Solium.
The withdrawn. Welcome.
Okay, so no requests from chat for this one, so up to you guys.
The rites.
It is Almer, a lead we've seen Phaler go with on many occasions today. And as we saw last time, also something Iroder is doing here, though his build is different. Phaler is preferring to throw, whereas Iroder is preferring to plunge. Web Lanthorn, Super Portal Raji for Phaler. Phaler and team versus Core and team. A literal Civil War. So I believe it was quick throws on the Stowaway, so 2 Savages for Iroder, and now perhaps similar story for Phaler. Was quick throwing Stowaway. Now Phaler, rather than the prayer beads, he's going for the stuns on his Stowaway. And Rotor, rather than going triple Savage this time, goes for stuns on Raji. Alright, so here we go. The Savages will, perhaps oftentimes, simultaneously teleport to the orb and banish each other in the process. So be on the lookout for a fair bit of that to happen, but it is iRotor getting it started with a 20 damage Savage throw. As, once again, the Savages teleport to the orb simultaneously, 2 times in a row. And now it is suddenly an Imp showdown, and neither player is particularly interested in going on the offensive with their Imps. That's what the Savages are here for. And that is what iRotor is doing to set up that 20 damage plunge. Free orb, which Phaler attempted to claim by teleporting to the orb, but I suppose on that occasion iRotor anticipated and just watched as Phaler teleported into his aura, although this time, Phaler able to throw it in for 20. iRotor's the one who ends up with it and jumps straight in. That is what he's going for. As I believe, yes, that was his prayer beads exile. As, once again, the Savages have taken each other out twice in a row, so it is an Imp showdown, at least until the Savages return, and then they will once again take each other out twice in a row, until nobody has any exiles. Phaler nearly finding an opening there. It sets up a dangerous portal, but he is stopped. But who needs portals when you can teleport to the orb with those Savages? iRotor sets up the plunge and drops Phaler down to 20, which means one score is potentially all that iRotor needs here. Won't happen on this occasion, though. Phaler, through the portal, gets the infinite stamina. But he is banished nonetheless. iRotor with the stowaway. This is the throwing Savage, but the throw is intercepted. Almer, of course, Phaler's throwing Savage, but he's stopped as well. Series of banishments momentarily left iRotor defenseless, but does just enough to intercept that throw. Raji, for iRotor, once again probably waiting for the Savages to return, and here they are. Phaler, infinite stamina through the portal, but still banished, and there is iRotor finishing the job.
Okay, this next one will be my last. I'm not playing through this connection anymore.
Oof, okay.
The rite is done.
Okay, well in that case, it may be time. It may be time for our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. Savage bad, yeah, I wrote it just one with 2 of them. What are you talking about? Yeah, Core, I think you have the right idea here. I think we are looking at doing a Fall Solium, well, liberation rite here. So that's where we will be. We will turn the sermon intro on and we'll go for the Never to Return withdrawn version. In that case, and no requests from chat for this one. This will be our final rite of the night, and we'll have both players take their preferred teams to finish things off in style. So without further ado, let's begin.
Greetings, exiles. You heed the summons to the fall of Solium. You shall take part here in a glorious tradition. Try not to let the pressure get to you. The Fate stand prepared. The withdrawn stand prepared. Who shall stand together here this night?
Alright, so as we said, our final rite of the night, our liberation rite. So no requests from chat for this one, both players taking their preferred teams. And of course we did just have our previous rite here in this arena. So we may see similar setups here, or perhaps one or both players will look to switch things up a little bit, keep their opponents guessing as to what might be coming their way. The element of surprise, as Phaler's setup was similar, although we saw a speedy Vorfrit from iRotor, very different from what we saw iRotor using last time. Oh. In fact, it's double Crone for iRotor. Baylor took a, what I assume must have been Webbed Lanthorn Raji in the second spot there. Now another Titan Tooth Ignarius. It looks like functionally the same setup for Phaler, but the same absolutely cannot be said for Iroder. Very different. He's going for an authentic withdrawn theme team here. 2 Prones and 1 Webbed Lanthorn Imp. And here we are, our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Phaler on the left representing the Fate, Iroder on the right representing the Withdrawn. Best of luck to you both.
Actual misclick, but what?
There it is.
Have proved their
GG.
worth. Their adversaries they defeated utterly.
Well played, you two.
Thus ends the Liberation Rite.
As we were saying, that will be our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today, and thank you everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well.
Thanks, everyone.
With that being said, I'm gonna duck out of Discord, but I will catch you guys next time. I will also get them out of Steam Remote Play. Let me just throw this screen on here. And as we were saying, that was our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites and everybody who gave us the requests today in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre like this, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, where we're coordinating this type of stuffs, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids, I'm hosting these Rite Nights, and my streaming schedule is Fridays, we're doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, Saturdays we're doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and then Sundays we're doing this, Pyre multiplayer. Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything you can catch it there as well. And, you know, occasionally might be doing some other games on YouTube as well. But if you haven't done so yet already, of course, you can also hit the follow button to get a notification for when I go live. You can follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I post there when I go live as well. But actually, the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my Discord, which you can do by clicking on. Whoa, that is not the correct button. What you can do by clicking on. That's also not the correct Lids. Come on, man. Click on that link right there. That's how you can join my Discord. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.